I've asked you this question before, and it comes up a lot. People know that I've interviewed you all these years. I've known you almost 30 years. And people ask me and say to him, why does he have to fight so hard? Why doesn't he pick his fights a little more? Why does he have to call people names? It's going to come down to those people that maybe are in the middle a little more. And the argument that they make to me is, if he would just tone it down a hair, stop a little of the name calling. Hang on. I said it's their question. Leave me alone. All right. That it might help you with swing voters and that are needed for you to get over the finish line.
I was under investigation and under siege, and so were my people. And if I wasn't tough, I wouldn't be here right now, I guarantee you that. If I didn't fight back, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, God. Man, Sean Hannity, that's your audience, dude. That is the audience you tried to create, the audience that would provide that sort of reaction. He also, by the way, like some people I think accept that because these people are on the news, they're on TV, they wear ties and they get paid a lot of money, that like they're intelligent or whatever. But look at the way that he diffused his own question before asking it. He wants to make a point. I just think you should be less like super immature and insulting. And he provided an out before even getting to that point of the question by saying, why does he fight so hard? This isn't about fighting hard or being tough. This is about pointless, self-destructive immaturity and vulgarity. That's the point that you want to make. And you provided him an out, which he used and said, I had to fight hard. I was under siege. You don't have to make mocking, insulting comments to fight hard when you're under siege. But that's what Hannity did. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, it's fascinating that question was in there. And that you have to ask yourself why. One possibility is that it's so Hannity can sleep at night, but I just don't believe that. Like, here is my question. I think it was because that is a real fear that the Trump campaign staff and the folks who kind of have an understanding of how this campaign is going to play out and an understanding of what happened in 2020 in the presidential election, that's what they're actually most afraid of. They're most afraid of Trump fatigue. That folks just think about Trump and they're like, why is it always something horrible all the time? And that's a question for independents who explicitly voted for Biden on that grounds alone. But what he expects to get from Trump in the conversation that would appease the people that have that fear, or allay any of the fears that they have, I don't know what Hannity even expected from that. I think he understood that he needed to phrase it very delicately, and that's why he had all those caveats and strange rhetorical approaches that he put all together in that question, as you point out.
I think it was honest. I think he actually thinks Trump would do better if he toned down some of that stuff. And I think it's not a guarantee that he's right, but I think he's probably right. I don't know how much of a difference it could make at this point because there's so much baked in history with Trump, but maybe it would have been enough in 2020.
That echoes what you covered yesterday, I think, about Roger Stone and how he approaches conversations with Trump. Like, that is how Hannity thinks he can swing Trump to be like, actually, it's a great point. I'm not going to push back as much as I do. But he's never going to do that. And he shouldn't. I mean, this guy was caught on tape saying he grabs women by their genitals. Yeah. And most politicians would have completely backtracked forever on that. And whenever someone brings it up, they would say, listen, it was my lowest point. He did it for like 40 seconds and then realized that the dominant strategy, given how he's changed the media landscape during an election, is just to be as horrible strongly as possible.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.